So good morning and welcome to Lending 3.0 and Future Identity Finance. I am joined today by Eric Van Loon, Deputy CEO of Finventory. So thank you so much for coming along today.
Thank you, Lisa. Yeah, it's very nice to be here.
Great. I thought we could start off with you telling us a little bit about you and Finventory and what they do.
Okay, yes, my name is Eric Van Loon. I joined Finventory back in 2016, right when the company started. So we knew very early on from the beginning that we were going to be an outsourcing partner to financial institutions, mainly banks. So it means you have to rely heavily on internal audit, internal control and stuff like that. Me being an auditor, that's why Frank had me, the CEO, had me join the company in order to set that up. So that really helps, being taken seriously by financial institutions as an outsourcing partner. Finventory, we're a software as a service company. We help banks managing their asset-backed loans and mainly concerning inventory, but we also do receivables a bit. So yeah, that's basically the core of what we do. Yeah.
Brilliant. So I don't think a lot of people realize how important supply chain finance is. I mean, we've all had a sense with, no cucumbers on the shelves in the grocery stores, but can you tell us a little bit about some of the challenges that Finventory is addressing in that space when it comes to supply chain finance?
Yeah,
and really the importance of it.
Yeah, okay, yeah, it's quite important because there's a lot to do about supply chains recently. So on the one hand you have the corporates that need funding, and on the other hand there's lenders. So basically our clients are the lenders. Our business model is such that we enter into contract with banks and direct debt parties and all financial institutions that want to lend money backed by or secured by assets such as inventory or invoices. And so we help them and we address issues because inventory-based lending is very cumbersome. The way banks work today is that they grant the loans and then the contract says that the companies will have to submit their data on maybe a monthly basis or bi-weekly basis. So they receive large Excels, and then a lot of people are
sort of paper-based, old-fashioned channels.
Well, it's not really paper, but it's Excel-based. So it's all in files, and then but that data needs to be processed, right? So you get raw data from your client. Somebody goes on to process that in order to make something out of it, where you can base your risk management on. Now we've automated all of that, so we take away all that hassle for the lender. So they have readily made information on lots of risk factors, and we do that on a daily basis instead of on a bi-weekly or monthly basis. So you have much more possibilities to analyze trends and risks. We've provided tools to do early warnings with key risk indicators, with risk score in order to categorize all your borrowers. Okay, this is a more risky company, this is a less risky company. When thresholds are being broken, warnings are raised so people can follow up on that. So there's a lot more tooling available than what you had before. Now for the borrower side, it also helps the borrowers a lot because they need funding, and they need funding. You can be a cyclical company. So in the summer you may be having a lot of inventory, needing a lot of funding, and in the winter maybe less, or the other way around. So you need a bank or a product, that keeps track of your funding needs. And the fact that we provide on a daily basis all these information helps the bank also to provide such products. The relevance of supply chain finance, because I think that was also one of your topics of your questions, is that imagine you're being a corporate, and you're a wholesale company or a manufacturing company. So the first thing you do is to procure and to buy stuff in order to process that and have it available. At some point you're going to sell it, you raise an invoice, but in the middle is your inventory, it's sitting in a warehouse somewhere, and all that needs to be funded. So on the buying side, banks have beautiful products, it's called trade finance. So there you're covered. And on the selling side, you're also covered because, factoring, invoice finance, that's readily available for many parties. You can get it everywhere They're, well, basically at the corner of the street, so to speak. But inventory finance, because it's such a hassle to lenders, as I said before, it's not really available. Now we've cracked that nut, make it more bankable, providing all the data, checking the data, get the errors out, get implausibilities out, so the quality of the data is also much higher than you had before when you were working with the Excel.
I think that's really interesting because you're addressing this missing middle, it sounds like, where you have goods in warehouses and because of the lack of that insight based on data, that previously the lending products weren't as available.
Yeah, that's correct. Yes, true.
Great. So, and when you think about, obviously it supports businesses because, when they're sitting with those goods, but can you talk us through a little bit more about how it would support businesses going forward? Do you see it as enabling faster growth, quicker turnaround?
Yeah, because you need your cash conversion cycle to be funded as a business. So, if you're stuck in the middle with a gap, it hampers your growth. Because you want to buy more stuff, but then you're at the very limit of what you're allowed to borrow, basically. So when the middle part is solved, obviously, by a bank, using a Finventory platform, monitoring the loans, they're able to take a bit more risk and advance a little bit further than they were used to maybe before. But that really opens up more cash to the corporate, obviously. So that's how it works.
Brilliant. Well, it sounds like it has real potential to deliver better outcomes to those businesses.
Yeah, to the banks, it provides more insight into what's going on at your borrower. It produces less risk because you get much more early warnings, and it's way more efficient than hassling with all those Excel. So that's. I think that's a solid business case to a bank,
Yeah, absolutely. Well, thank you so much for sharing that with us. I think you've really shown a light on a type of lending that perhaps people aren't aware of, as we said, the real importance and potential impact.
Yep.
Look forward to your panel later today. So
yeah, me too, yeah. So, judging from the dinner we had together with the panelists yesterday evening, I'm sure it's going to be a lively event.
Yeah. Brilliant. Thanks again for joining me.
Thank you very much, Lisa.